We have over 250 meters of kiln covered.
I am a fan of the KILNCOOLER.
We have to find new ways to innovate, be better. They found no cracks and it can work straight away, not much to worry about.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Cement Alliance Cement Talks. My name is Yeray, García. I am the area sales manager for Latin America and US cement industry of ENOTEC, a German company. And today I have here Matthias Hacker from KIMA Process Control. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Thank you for having me.
Please introduce you.
Yeah, my name is Matthias Hacker. As you mentioned, I'm the area sales manager for KIMA Process Control and for the North and South American market. I've recently been doing it for the last 2 years. Quite happy, quite interesting to be traveling with you guys for the first time as well.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the product portfolio of KIMA, please.
Yeah, so we have, let's say, 3 key products. We have the Smart Fill device, our 360 impact sound system. We have our KILNCOOLER, which is our precise measurement and control to actually bring down the temperature of the kiln. So it's the best replacement for fans nowadays with the CO2 we have been talking about recently. We also have the gas temp, which is our acoustic sound measurement system for temperature and flow.
Mm-hmm. I have to admit something. I am a fan of the KILNCOOLER, so please tell the people a little bit more about this product.
Yeah, so the KILNCOOLER, for those who don't know about the product itself, is the replacement for fans themselves. So rather than having a fan continuously cover the whole circumferences with air and reduce the actual temperature, what it actually does is that we do water mist or water spraying system on the kiln shell. So it's basically a mist is sprayed to the kiln shell and it's reducing and absorbing the radiation from the kiln and reducing the temperature. So when we see these high temperature rises in certain areas of the kiln, well, we can bring them down. So how does the system work? That's probably also what a lot of reviewers would be asking themselves. It basically works with an infrared system. So we measure the infrared across the whole circumference and it only sprays exactly the mist of water where it's needed. So rather than spraying the whole circumference, we focus on that specific spot, therefore reducing operational costs, sound emissions, and overall the energy consumption compared to fans.
Mm-hmm. And as far as I know, you have different models. You have the one that is stationary and then you have a mobile. Could you please explain a little bit what differences they have?
Yeah, so our mobile unit is what I would like to call our preventive system. It's 2.5 meters in length, and you can essentially move it across the whole kiln and put it where these hot temperatures are coming from, right? To help to reduce them and create the new coating for them. Essentially, that's a preventive unit. You can just, it's a plug and play system. It's basically almost already installed. You connect it to the water, to the electricity, and it can work straight away. Not much to worry about. Then we have our next generation, which is the KILNCOOLER stationary, which covers the whole kiln shell or sections of the kiln shell. And it's basically on a daisy chain or modules, and you can put them right next to each other. So you can actually cover the whole kiln length using the same principle of water mist cooling, and helps you basically completely take away what fans were before across the whole kiln shell. You can put them also close to the tires, so you can actually reduce the radiation there, make it continuous, this floating tire, make sure that they continuously work. And basically the key difference between the two units is one is the preventive system, so you can move around, while the stationary is the fixed unit, which for those people operating close to the kiln, well, you basically can sleep well at night.
Mm-hmm. You have certainly some references. Yeah, I know you have some increased the installations in the last year. So
yeah. So starting from 2022, we have over 250 meters of kiln covered with the KILNCOOLER. So that includes the stationary and the mobile. And we have a few plants one in Thailand, also in Sweden, which have the whole kiln covered. That we're talking about over 40, close to 50 meters covering the whole kiln shell. They have been great success cases that you guys can also read in a lot of our Cement Alliance publishing partners, KG and Global Cement. And it's been quite successful. People are definitely happy. You are getting an immediate return on investment almost in less than a year. Operational costs over the long run are reducing, and CO2 emissions are also being reduced, and it's essentially what we like to say a no-brainer for the industry, because here in the cement industry we have to find new ways to innovate, be better, and really make an impact for the cement industry and improve what we're doing so we can actually stay relevant to the changes in the world.
For sure, but talking about innovation, don't you think that sometimes the customers are a little bit afraid of such innovations as the KILNCOOLER? Because I think they are used to use fans and well, this with water, does it really work? What would you tell them to get that fear of?
Yeah, so the most common way to answer this, well, it rains on the kiln, right? So, and that's all going to be a lot more water than you will actually see being sprayed by the kiln cooler, that's an invalid assumption. But I do get that question quite often, and that's why I laugh at it, because it's the most common misconception that water mist cooling will actually hurt the kiln shell. We have done, or we have seen from our clients, they have done independent studies, the ones that already had the kiln cooler, and they found no cracks. They didn't find no micro cracks, no anything, and the system works perfectly, and they don't have to be scared about using it because, first of all, it rains on the system. If you ask your kiln supplier, well, how do you cool down the system when you're actually doing the production? Well, they're also using water. So it's a misconception, and we're trying to absorb the radiation. We're not trying to continuously cool on the spot. Yeah. We're just cooling specifically when it's needed, and we do more or less 5-second spray on it to actually cool down. So I think those are the key points that I would say help people understand this misconception is not true. We can actually work. You can look at the studies, you can look at the references and really see how the system works.
Okay, great. And talking a little bit more about innovations, I've heard you have something also regarding the kiln cooler, some add features for the near future now.
Yeah, so and our next generation kiln cooler stationary, so this is only applicable for the stationary, we're actually going to add distance sensors under the infrared sensors. And the distance sensor will actually measure across the whole kiln shell. So each module will have 4 sensors and it will span across the whole kiln length. And that way we can see if there's any changes in ovality of the kiln. So we would be able to do this hot kiln alignment, which is quite innovative, it's quite new, and it's a more simple, better way to actually realign the kiln. And what it does is that it will measure any changes in ovality. And the moment that the system is able to measure the ovality changes, what would happen is that across the whole kiln, the kiln cooler will start to spray, and it will do the alignment back to straight. So we would reduce this banana effect that we like to call, or any movement or any kind of danger. So by having the kiln cooler stationary across your whole kiln, it's so innovative because we can prevent essentially anything and your operator can sleep well at night.
Well, that sounds really interesting. I'm sure our viewers will find it also very, very, very interesting what you're talking about. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And for everyone out there, please go to cementalliance.org. If you want to find out more about the Cement Alliance, about the companies that are part of the Cement Alliance, and also, of course, about KIMA process and control. Also, you can arrange a meeting, you can schedule a meeting with Matthias or with other members of the Cement Alliance anytime. So please go, check it, and like it.